Hey, do you know what time it is? That's right. It's time for Coach Lindy's podcast. The podcast to get you moving. Hi, I'm Lindy Hutchinson, a certified life mastery consultant with the Brave Thinking Institute. As a life coach, I help others transform their life as I have mine. It's not easy, but it is possible, and it most certainly is worth it. Each week, I'll share insights that inform, inspire, and ignite in you your desire to create a life that you love. So let's find out what's going on this week. Welcome to another episode 43 of Coach Lindy's podcast. It is my joy and privilege to be with you for a few minutes. This week, we're going to have another profile in positivity, and it is someone you probably know or watched for many years, actor Henry Winkler. And you probably remember him besides other things that he did, but most popular was his character, the Fonz, on Happy Days. So especially if you're a person of a certain age, you will remember at least hearing about it if you weren't a big fan, and a lot of people were big fans. But there are a couple things about Mr. Winkler that are especially noteworthy, and that's what we're going to focus on. We'll do an overview. Happy Days, the TV show, ran from January 74 to July 84 with a total of 255 episodes spanning 11 seasons, which that all by itself is noteworthy. I read once that a series on TV is considered successful if you last about 6 seasons. And they lasted 11, so good for them. Henry Franklin Winkler was born October 30th, 1945, which was right after World War II, which will come into importance as we continue our profile. He has many accolades, 3 Emmys, 2 Golden Globes, and 2 Critics' Choice Awards. One of the things that I have found enjoyable to know is that his smiling, happy self in his character is actually a lot of who he is. Most people who've met him or talked to him said he's actually a very, very nice man, and he's been happily married for many decades. Testimony to a solid person as well as a fun character that he's created. His signature character, Arthur Fonzarelli, in the series he fashioned after Steve McQueen's 1963 character in The Great Escape. They, if I remember right, they said that they weren't going to have him wear a leather jacket, but he personalized it, created the character, I should say, embellished and expanded the character, and they liked it, and of course it worked, and that is pretty amazing. He was 28, I believe, when he got the role. And of course, it changed his life and it impacted many other people. But something that's particularly heart-rendering for Mr. Winkler, as I saw him on a recent interview, he never knew his grandparents. And that is because they died in Auschwitz. They were from Germany, they're Jewish, and a great many of his relatives died in Nazi Germany. So he made the comment, the interviewer was asking him, did he have grandkids? And I think he had 7, but he was saying that he really enjoys being a grandpa, and he tries to be the grandpa that he knew that he would have had and he would like to have had if they hadn't been murdered. So that's pretty sobering, but he speaks with great gratitude. And gratitude is our power word for the week. There's something, if you ever listen to Mr. Winkler in an interview, he's always smiling, he's very positive, and he truly appreciates everything that's happened to him. Henry Winkler's father, Henry Irving Winkler, he told his wife, Anna Marie, that they were leaving Berlin on a business trip in 1940 something, but they never came back. They realized that the political fever, the hate was brewing, and they were fortunate, smart enough to get out. Very sad though, he had an uncle who apparently had a jacket that a tailor was finishing, and he waited a day instead of leaving like his parents did. He waited an additional day to get his jacket, and as fate would have it, he was seized by the Nazis and taken to Auschwitz, and that's where he died. So sometimes you need to get out when you can go. So his parents took a trip to America, and they established themselves in New York City, and the man we know as Fonzie, Henry Winkler, was born on October 30th, 1945. His middle name, Franklin, would describe his parents' appreciation for President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who was given credit for extending their visas, which meant their lives were spared. So he grew up in New York City surrounded by other Holocaust survivors. He said that there were a lot of younger Jews that were awakening to the crimes against their people by watching documentaries. And he said that he lived in a documentary. He said, my doctor, our cousins, they're all pretty much faux family because of everyone who survived was there. They all collected and created a community. He was moved by the fortitude of the immigrants. They learned a new language. They left the country that was their home, but they were forced to leave, and they created a world, a life in a different country, this one, and he speaks of it with great appreciation and gratitude. So gratitude is more than just being thankful. It's actually an entire mindset of feeling truly grateful for the good things that have happened to you. Now, there was another battle, another challenge that Henry Winkler faced, and that was in the form of dyslexia. And this was back before they had the names and treatments for these things. So he lacked confidence. He had a great deal of self-doubt. He was labeled as stupid and lazy, and that he would never achieve. Well, apparently his family was supportive. He went to college and he started acting, and then at 28 in 1973 he landed the role of Fonzie, and everything changed. The world got to know a fun character, and behind it a fabulous man. He said that at the height of the fame at the time in the 70s, he was receiving over 55,000 letters a week. And he was a celebrity everywhere he went. And even with all of that fame, fortune, and blah, blah, which very few people achieve that level, the man always showed gratitude and appreciation for where he was and what he had. Now, he creates later on, he is a co-creator of a series of books about dyslexia, and it's been a tool used in many educational forums to help children who are battling the challenge of dyslexia. TV Guide, going back to his career as an entertainer, the Fonz was ranked number 4 in the 50 greatest TV characters of all time. And in the UK, the Fonz is listed as the 13th greatest television character. So he's written several books. His leather jacket is in the Smithsonian, and behind all of that accomplishment, his books, his shows, his movies, all of his awards, still lives a very down-to-earth, very nice man who shows the power of gratitude and tenacity. So, this week, Henry Winkler, our power word, gratitude. Our train your brain thought for the week is gratitude is more than just being thankful. Thankful is good, but we want an overall attitude of gratitude. So, the fictitious George Costanza gives us a line that I think is funny. George Costanza on the hit TV show Seinfeld. George says, when you look annoyed, people think you're busy. So, and if you think about it, there's truth to that. Not that you should look annoyed, because that's also not too welcoming. But if you want to repel people, there you go. People might think you're busy and they'll leave you alone. So, thanks for joining me this week. When you have a chance, look up Henry Winkler, interesting man, fascinating career, very poignant and powerful family story. Fill your life with gratitude and see how far you will go, and you will go far. So keep building your dreams and creating a life that you love. Live boldly because you deserve it. Thanks so much. I'll look forward to seeing you next week. Take care. Hey, thanks for joining me this week. I look forward to being with you every week. And if you'd like to get in touch with me, please email me at coachlindy@lindyhutchinson.com. My name is spelled L-Y-N-D-I, so it's Coach Lindy, L-Y-N-D-I, at Lindy Hutchinson, LYNDYHUTCHINSON.com. I value what your input is, and I'm always open up for suggestions and ideas. If you will like and or subscribe to this podcast, that would be wonderful. I appreciate it. And I enjoy anything that you might want to send in, or if you would like some more information about coaching, send me an email and I will get back with you, and we'll talk about how you can create your best life. Have a good week. We'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye-bye.